You know what's funny? They called you weak because you didn't scream when they stabbed you, because you bled quietly, because you let their words cut deeper than their knives. But here's the joke. They're the punchline. Weakness isn't real. It's a story they tell to keep you small. A lie you've been swallowing like poison. But poison stops working when you turn it into power. And you're not swallowing anymore. You're spitting fire. Let's talk about storms. Not the kind you see coming. The kind that hides. The kind that grows in the dark, in the quiet, in the cracks of their laughter. You've been that storm. Growing, building, waiting. Every time they laughed at your pain, they fed you. Every time they called you broken, they sharpened you. Now the sky's cracking open, and their laughter's about to drown in thunder. They think they're safe. They think their rules, their money, their fake smiles can protect them. But you know the truth. Rules burn, money melts, smiles crack, and storms don't care. You've been the lightning they didn't see, the wind they couldn't catch, the flood they couldn't stop. They called you weak because they couldn't handle your strength, because your silence scared them more than their own screams. Here's what they don't get. Darkness isn't your enemy, it's your weapon. They pushed you into the shadows, thinking you'd vanish. But shadows are where monsters learn to hunt, where silence becomes a blade, where pain becomes a map. You've been studying that map, learning their secrets, their fears, the way their hands shake when they're alone. Now you're stepping into the light, and their knees are buckling. You want to know why they're scared? Because they see it now. The storm in your eyes, the unbreakable in your bones, the fire they tried to smother with their lies. You're not their victim anymore. You're their reckoning. The mirror that shows them their own rot. The monster they created by underestimating you. And monsters don't beg. Monsters don't bargain. Monsters feed. Let them run. Let them hide. Let them whisper your name like a curse. You're not chasing them. You're changing the game, rewriting the rules, burning their playbook. They wanted a weakling, you gave them a war. They wanted tears, you're giving them a flood. They wanted silence, you're answering with a roar that'll split their world in two. Remember, these storms don't apologize. They don't negotiate. They destroy. They cleanse. They remind the world that even the mightiest towers fall. You're not just a storm. You're the aftermath, the calm that comes when their lies are rubble, the silence that follows their screams, the truth they can't escape. So let it rain, let it rage, let it burn. They called you weak, but weak things don't survive. And you're not just surviving, you're alive. And alive things, they fight, they grow, they win. The best part, they'll never see it coming. They'll be too busy clinging to their broken thrones to notice the ground shaking. Too busy mocking to hear the thunder. Too busy being them to realize you've become something they'll never understand. Something unstoppable, something beautiful. So smile. Let them call you crazy. Let them call you too much. You're not here to fit in their world. You're here to end it. You want to know the best part? They'll never admit they were wrong. They'll point at the wreckage of their perfect little world and blame the wind. They'll scream at the rain like it's some act of God, never realizing you were the God they ignored, the one they laughed at, the one they shoved into the dirt. But gods don't stay buried. Gods rise, and when they do, they don't come with mercy. They come with lightning in their fists and hurricanes in their lungs. Think about a forest fire. It doesn't start with a roar, it starts with a spark, a tiny trembling flicker they could have stomped out. But they didn't. They let it burn, fed it with their arrogance, their cruelty, their endless need to watch you squirm. Now the flames are licking at their heels, and they're scrambling to blame the wind, the trees, the sky, anyone but themselves. But fire doesn't care who started it. Fire just burns. And you're not a spark anymore. You're the inferno, the blaze that'll leave their kingdom's ash and their crowns melted to slag. They'll try to stop you. Of course they will. They'll throw their rules like water, their threats like buckets of sand. But you've tasted their weakness. You've seen the cracks in their armor, the way their voices shake when they're not in a crowd, the way their eyes dart when they're alone. They're not giants, they're ants. And you're the boot they never saw coming. Let's talk about earthquakes. They don't warn you. They don't knock politely. They rip the ground open and laugh as the world falls in. That's you, right now. You're the fault line under their feet, the tremor in their hands, the split-second silence before the world collapses. They built their castles on your back, but you're not carrying them anymore. You're shaking them off. Let the towers crumble. Let the moats dry up. Let them drown in the dust of their own delusions. You ever watch a wolf hunt? It doesn't chase. It stalks. It waits. It learns the rhythm of the prey's fear. That's what you've been doing. Learning their rhythms, their tells. The way they flinch when someone's louder. The way they fold when someone's stronger. You're not their prey anymore. You're the predator they trained, the nightmare they fed, the shadow that's been breathing down their necks this whole time. And tonight, the hunt ends. Here's the dirty truth they'll take to their graves. They needed you weak, needed you small, because your light made theirs look like a dying bulb. Your strength made theirs feel like paper. Your truth made their lies taste like ash. So they dimmed you, shrank you, tried to unmake you. But you can't unmake a storm. You can't silence thunder. You can't cage a wildfire. And you're all three. They'll say you've changed, that you're not the same person. Damn right you're not. The old you died in their darkness. The new you doesn't fear the dark. You are the dark. The void that swallows their excuses. The abyss that reflects their sins. The shadow that follows them into their dreams. Let them toss and turn. Let them sweat. Let them beg for dawn. But dawn's not coming, not for them. You're the endless night they brought upon themselves. And when it's over, when their cities are ruins and their voices are whispers, they'll finally understand. They didn't break you, they unleashed you. Turned you into something they can't name, something they can't kill, something that'll haunt their history books. You're not a chapter in their story anymore. You're the ending, the period. The final scream that echoes long after the page is torn out. So let them write their lies. Let them build their statues. Let them rewrite history to paint themselves as heroes. But deep down, in the quiet, in the dark, they'll know. They'll always know. Heroes don't win. Storms do. And you're just getting started.